recovery tip of the week. Today we're going to talk a little bit about stretching. Stretching in general is great for everybody, but did you know that your kids really need to stretch too? Coach Chris, why is it very important for kids to stretch?
Well, it's really important for kids to stretch because they're growing so much. Okay, so their bones are growing faster than their tendons and their ligaments, and that's why we see a lot of kids with severs and osteosliders in their knees. It's because they're too tight around their bones, and their muscles aren't catching up. So we need to keep that loose so that they're not in pain and not getting injured.
Now, is it the same as stretching for an adult as it would be for a kid?
Not necessarily. Especially these kids, they're athletes, they need to get ready for their games. So before a game, a workout, or a practice, we do dynamic stretching as opposed to static stretching. I actually brought a rubber band that I put in the freezer as an example. So you're cold, you're going into a game, and you want to just sit there and statically stretch, you're going to end up snapping it, or it's going to be too loose. All right? And we do a dynamic warm-up. It's just a bunch of movements, getting the body ready, getting it loose, ready for game.
And that way we don't overstretch and snap.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great. And do we have an example of a stretch that we could do with our kids or on the field right before a game?
Yeah, we do. All right, so we're going to use the static stretch that we don't want to do before a game, and that would be just a butterfly, groin. I'm going to bend over, try to touch my head and my feet, stretch. I'm not really, mentally ready for a game, just kind of hanging out, stuff like that. So what we're going to do is the Degeorge dynamic warm-up. I named it. It's after myself. We're going to start with our feet shoulder-width apart. Touch your toes. So now we're going to get our hamstrings loose. Now we're going to groove the squat pattern, especially if you're squatting that day. You want to get this movement down with a nice flat back. Push your knees out, loosen up the groin. Now we're going to walk out to a push-up position. So now we're engaging our core and our glutes. Now to get it back into our groin and our hip flexors, we're going to go into a Spider-Man stretch. Hold this for about a couple seconds. Bounce in it. You don't have to be completely still. This isn't static. Bring it back. Try the other leg. Now we're going to bring that back. Come back into that squat. When we're doing this, we're really getting into the hips. Now we're going to loosen up our upper back, reach over our head, get some T-spine extension, and stand up. So we only have to do that 3 to 5 times. As you can tell, I'm already sweating. I'm moving. And that's going to get them ready for a game, workout, or practice.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
No problem.
So guys, if you have a kid in a sport, or if you're an athlete yourself, make sure you're doing dynamic stretching before a workout or before a game. It's really important, not only for adults, but also for kids. Thanks. Have a great weekend. If you need any questions answered, please email me, Michelle@GabrielFitness.com, or Chris@GabrielFitness.com. Have a good week.